Rising water at an eastern Kentucky lake has people living nearby worry tonight how record levels at the lake could lead to flooding.
As the U.S. Supreme Court gets ready to hear arguments in Kentucky's same-sex marriage case, a state judge weighs in on the debate.
The Lexington Fire Department gives citizens a hands-on approach on how to fight fire.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 11.
Good evening to you. It is a sign of just how much rain we've had over the last few weeks. Tonight, an eastern Kentucky lake has reached record high water levels.
And the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers says that more heavy rain could cause flooding problems downstream. Cave Run Lake in Rowan County reached a record level today. And tonight, Garrett Weimer talked to people in the community of farmers, which could see some flooding if the lake ends up with too much water. It's our top story at 11.
It's not hard to see that water levels are high here at Cave Run Lake, all in an area of Rowan County that's gotten its fair share of rain in recent days.
Well, the ground's so wet already. It won't take much rain to bring it up and get back out of the banks. And we just have to learn to live with it. That's about all I know.
With the lake here at record pool, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is warning folks that more rain could mean more problems for the nearby community of farmers. The Corps of Engineers says if the rain does overflow the spillway, then the town could see high water levels like it did earlier this month. It's something Homer Wallace says there's not much he can do to prepare for.
We never can tell. We just have to take what the good Lord gives us.
Just a couple weeks ago, Wallace says the water came awfully close to his building here, but thankfully didn't come in. Now with pool levels at the lake as high as they are, he says he hopes the skies stay clear and the water stays where it's supposed to.
I'm afraid of water. I can swim good. I can swim like a duck and dive like a rock, but I'm scared to death of water.
In Rowan County, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
The Army Corps of Engineers says the dam is holding back extra water until nearby streams can handle more of it without adding to the flood levels. They say people living nearby should be prepared to leave if the water gets too high.
A mudslide that shut down a Madison County road has now been cleared. Dispatchers tell us Tates Creek Road north of Richmond reopened tonight. The road had been closed since Tuesday. Emergency managers say heavy rain caused mud and trees to slide off a nearby hill and onto the road. Crews have been working since then to clean up the mess.
Well, to say the least, we could really use a break from all the rain, and it looks like much of Friday could be dry. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has an early look at the forecast. Is that the case?
Yeah, that still appears to be the case for both our Friday into our Saturday. And today we had a dry second half of the day for most areas, though we started out with some booming showers and thunderstorms. Look back at the rainfall since midnight in far southern southwestern parts of the area. Yet again today, a few locations topping out close to 1 inch of rain. For most of central and eastern Kentucky, you're talking about 1/10 of an inch with a couple of pockets around Moorhead, not too far from Cave Run Lake, that picked up close to 1/2 inch of rain yet again today. Now, Live First Alert Defender late on your Thursday evening continues with a mainly dry sweep across the entire region. Nothing across the metro, though a little stubborn band of some showers and thunderstorms working almost due eastward into far northern Kentucky around the Covington, Cincinnati area. That continues to stay away from us, though later tonight, tomorrow morning, the back edge of this little precipitation shield that had been in the form of some scattered showers is right on top of the area. So an isolated shower storm is possible tomorrow, but windy and warmer weather arrives later Friday afternoon across the entire area. Focus of the forecast when I come back on what else but your weekend. All eyes on that hour-by-hour forecast that has some very nice weather and then some very wet weather. We will time it all out for you guys where you live just ahead.
Chris, thank you. Eastern Kentucky University has suspended some football players involved in a bar fight. Richmond police released surveillance video of the fight, which happened in January at Jersey's bar. Police say the fight involved both EKU and UK players. A grand jury did not indict anyone, but EKU suspended its players involved in the fight, saying this type of behavior would not be tolerated. EKU did not name the players, but Colton Scurry and Patrick Graffrey have been removed from the EKU football roster online. As for the UK players, Coach Mark Stoops says the situation was addressed and handled internally.
A Franklin County judge has ruled against Kentucky's ban on same-sex marriage. But the ruling has been put on hold because the U.S. Supreme Court will hear arguments on marriage bans in Kentucky and 3 other states later this month. Today, Franklin Circuit Judge Thomas Wingate ruled in favor of 2 same-sex couples who were denied marriage licenses. He ruled the ban violates the right to equal protection. A federal judge struck down Kentucky's ban last year, but a federal appeals court overturned that ruling, sending the case to the Supreme Court. A Pulaski County man accused of beating his girlfriend to death now admits he did it. Johnny Hendricks pled guilty to murder this morning. Last fall, police say he beat Monica Wells in front of her 8-year-old son and then put her body in a sinkhole. Wells' parents say they agreed to the guilty plea because the boy would have had to testify during that trial.
He's in counseling twice a week now. This would have killed that kid. He couldn't have stood it.
Prosecutors have recommended Hendricks spend 25 years in prison. He will be sentenced May 21st.
The developer of Centerpoint downtown says he has found a buyer for $25 million in bonds and could close on the deal by early next month, allowing him to start construction of the underground 3-level parking garage there. This is a live look at Centerpoint from our Skycam tonight. Dudley Webb also talked about his disappointment and how slow the project has moved since the block was cleared of buildings almost 7 years ago. His comments came in a letter sent to me after he declined an on-camera interview on the future of Centerpoint. Webb says it should take 15 months total to build the parking garage, the office building, and 2 hotels and apartments, plus a restaurant and bank. Council members we talked to are anxious to see progress at the site.
I still think it's on everyone's mind being in the center of downtown, but I think there has been very little activity that we've seen and heard about. Hopefully in the next 30 days, we'll all have an update and know more about what's going on.
Webb says construction will begin as soon as those bonds are sold. He says Centerpoint, when finished, will include an 11-story Marriott, a 6-story extended stay Marriott, a 10-story office building, and 75 apartments. To read the letter Webb sent to us, and just go to our website, WKYT.com. It could save lives in case of an emergency. Tonight, people in the Lexington Fire Department's Citizens Fire Academy received some hands-on training involving an actual fire.
They practiced their skills at a plane crash simulator, and as you might imagine, it was intense at times. Monique Blair has the story new at 11.
All right, here we go.
These people are not real firefighters, but they're learning what it takes to be one.
Well, beforehand, I was like, it looks pretty easy. Anybody can actually do it. It's not as easy as it looks.
Offering the course twice a year, the Lexington Fire Department gives students a hands-on approach at how to use the jaws of life, how to operate a breathing apparatus, and how to flow the hose lines, just to name a few.
There's many aspects of the department that when you're in this class, you get to see those.
For student Sean McStay, it wasn't until he got up close and personal with the fire that he realized how tough the job really is.
It feels like you're in the middle of an open field, pitch black, can't see your hand in front of your face. And dragging 220-pound dummy out is harder than it looks.
Tonight, during the 10th week of the 11-week course, students were able to see and feel what it's like to fight a real fire. For student Mary Cotlet, she took the class for a more personal reason.
My husband's a firefighter, and I kind of wanted to see what he does. And I've gained a lot more respect for what he does.
Respect for what he does and what he has to wear.
I don't know how they do this all the time because this gear is incredibly difficult to move around in.
McStay, who plans on applying for the Lexington Fire Department, summed up his experience with the academy in 3 short words.
It's breathtaking, really.
In Lexington, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Well, the next Citizens Fire Academy class will begin in August, and it's free. For more information, just go to our website, WKYT.com. Tonight, we are learning more about a Seattle airport employee who fell asleep in the cargo hold of an Alaska Airlines plane.
Pilots had to turn the plane after it took off Monday because they heard banging noises coming from the cargo hold. But as Danielle Nottingham tells us, the employee also managed to call 911 from the air.
When Alaska Airlines Flight 448 returned to Seattle's airport just 14 minutes after takeoff Monday, it was carrying a passenger not on the manifest. A baggage worker had taken a nap in a pressurized cargo hold and awoke to a nightmare.
Hello, I'm trapped in this plane and I called my job, but I'm in this plane.
You're where?
I'm inside a plane and I feel like it's moving in the air. Flight 448, can you please show somebody stop it?
Where are you in a plane at?
After about 45 seconds, the call disconnects.
Are you by yourself or are you with somebody?
Stop! Please!
The 911 operator tried calling back but got no answer. The trapped man had also called for help using something a bit more analog, his hands.
I think we have heard a noise from the baggage compartment. Be a person in there, so we're going to come back around.
The plane landed minutes later. The worker was unharmed. Alaska Airlines hasn't yet said whether he'll keep his job. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Unfortunately, he's okay for the most part. The airline says the employee knowingly violated company policies by hiding in the cargo hold to take a nap.
Tonight, 2 teenagers face charges after an online threat caused a scare in Whitley County. Police say a crisis center in Iowa received a message saying someone at a Whitley County school had a gun and was going to shoot children. The crisis center contacted the school district and schools were put on lockdown. Police didn't find a gun at any of the schools. Police say they traced the message to 19-year-old Nicholas Greenlee and a 16-year-old. Both teenagers are students. The Whitley County Sheriff says one of the teens said the message was a joke.
But nobody out there was laughing. We take this stuff very serious, and the school does also.
Investigators say both teenagers have been charged with terroristic threatening.
Police arrested a man they say was making meth and growing marijuana. State police say 23-year-old Christopher Adams now faces many drug-related charges. They say a tip led them to a home on Goddard Road in Fleming County. Once there, they say they found an active meth lab and an indoor marijuana growing operation.
The newest resident of a Whitley County nursing home is getting lots of attention tonight. The Williamsburg Health and Rehabilitation Center adopted Bella to be its house dog. Nursing home leaders say they've been working with the Knox Whitley Animal Shelter to find the perfect match. They say Bella spent last week getting to know the residents, and after only a few minutes, they knew she would fit in.
It was pretty much an immediate. We knew that she was the one for the residents. The way that she engaged with the residents, and she was so calm, and just immediately she brought some kind of comfort and joy to the residents.
The 125 residents at the nursing home gave Bella a warm welcome this afternoon. I think she's going to fit in just fine.
Yeah, think about all the love she's going to get from all those people.
Already.
All right.